Yes. What we have been waiting for has finally happened. Joao to Al Nassr for 30 million with, added clauses that would amount to around 50 million. So if everything goes to plan, Chelsea will be making some kind of profit. But currently, it's a loss because we bought him the previous season for I think 40 something. It was an exchange for Gallagher. Now, that's not important. Like, we have all been expecting it. The only difference is that he's now going to Al Nassr as opposed to Benfica. And I think a lot of people have been talking about why a 25-year-old going to Saudi Arabia. Like, he's done, but he was partly done for the entire period of, like, since 2 years ago. Like every other team, Atletico signed him, didn't want to use him, or thought he had some issues that he couldn't perform in La Liga. Then he came to Chelsea. Every other coach, Poch, Maresca, decided that he's not the man for, you know, Chelsea. And then he went to La Liga. Now, La Liga guys are nearly the same height, nearly the same build, nearly the same play. They like it nearly plays the same as those, Camp Nou guys, like those Barcelona guys. And we thought that this is the team for him. But then they decided that he's not the guy. He can't play in attacking mid. He can't play in left wing. Came back and everybody in the top five Premier League, the top five leagues in Europe decided that Joe Felix is not the guy. And, Saudi Arabia might fit him. Now, that wasn't important. The real important news is that Fulham has decided that they need Sterling. But I think they don't necessarily need Sterling. They want Dewsbury Hall. But because they know that Chelsea has a problem with selling Sterling. So if we, package our deal in such a way that we relieve them of Sterling and then we ask them for Dewsbury Hall, they will agree because right now Chelsea needs to offload Sterling. Like it's very urgent. No team has even shown interest, even rumors, even the agent has not even tried to create some wild rumors about, a team wanting Sterling. So it looks like if things are not going to change, then Sterling will be given to a certain team for a loan at last minute, and that will disadvantage Chelsea because Chelsea will need to pay the majority of his salary for the loan period. But Fulham has come up with a plan of taking Dewsbury Hall to play in their mid. And Fulham mid is not that bad currently because they haven't changed a lot. They have not sold anybody and they have not signed anybody. So probably the team that was playing last season will be the same team that is playing this season. And it is not an old team. It is actually, I think it's among the teams with a lot of young players. So those people are coming to improve their performance just a little bit. And if you add in this Barry Hall, who is a good guy. He plays so well whenever he's given a chance. Whenever he's given minutes, he's just one of the top guys. And you add Sterling, who has a lot of experience, who can score and who can run. And I'm sure they will add other few people. I think they're going to build an amazing team. And I think that's their goal. Because how they finished the league, how they played, again, people usually say that this you can't depend on these pre-season friendlies because they don't necessarily show the seriousness. They don't show just the full depth of the team. But you can tell the quality, you can tell the tactics if they are working or if they are not working. And right now, I think Fulham is playing better than Forest, and is even playing. If you saw yesterday's friendlies, because yesterday there was Everton and Bournemouth and Man United and West Ham, you could tell that Fulham are a little bit more drilled as at right now compared to all these teams. And their plan is to add just a bit of Premier League experience. They're behaving the way Forest behaved last season. You add in like those guys that the top teams do not want. You either buy them or you loan them. And if you do that, you just have, nearly the same quality. Like whatever the scouts of those top four teams, so in these guys, are the same thing you are going to get. So if you have Sterling, if you have, who's the other guy from Hutchinson, if you have Dewsbury Hall, if you have Bessie, if you have like all those guys, then that's a top team. Like, those teams that are usually from number 6 to number 10, the Brighton, the Forest. Of course, Forest was not among them for a period of time, but there was Everton. Like, that quality. And if things just goes well, they'll be fighting for top 4. Now, another news is that Diaz is going to Bayern. It has been confirmed. They have made uh, he has agreed personal terms with Bayern basically, and he's going it's already confirmed. And Bayern are paying around 75, which means Bayern are actually funding Isak purchase. I know Newcastle are just threatening to sell Isak at 150, or they're pricing Isak as at 150. But with 75 from Bayern, if they had another 30, that's 105 or 110. I'm so sure they'll be able to get Isak, because Isak, again, does not want to play with Newcastle. And yesterday also, Joao was asked if Isak is going to with Newcastle to, I think, the friendlies, the preseason friendly. And I think how he said it, it was like he was denying. It wasn't like straightforward. It wasn't like it was straightforward with whatever he was saying. Which means there's a very high chance that Isak will be at Liverpool. And if Isak is at Liverpool, then whatever I predicted yesterday, because the team is edging out, the team that was depended on is edging out. Now they'll just be having somebody who will be scoring. Like the amount of goals that Salah will have reduced with this performance. Now Isak will be able to cover it up, and now it will make the team able to compete for Premier League. That's it. Now, another news is Arsenal are really on the way they usually do their business is different from these other teams. Whenever all these other teams are doing their signings, like you can tell if they say that, if they say, probably let's take an example of Man City, or let's take an example of Chelsea. If they say Man City wants this player, then after some few days it will be Man City have agreed personal terms with this player. After some other days it will be Man City has tabled a bid, it has been rejected. Then they have tabled a second bid, it has been accepted. Like from the time of the rumor to the time of signing, it's not a very long time. Like you can't spend 2 weeks on it. Even Chelsea has been like that, except for Xavi. With Arsenal, there's always it usually takes a lot of times. I think the agent usually, is it called an agent? Usually dilly-dallies on the deal. Like the deal usually takes a long period of time before it's agreed. And the thing is, Eze has a release clause of 68, which by this current market standard is not a huge amount. Like Arsenal can afford 68 if they have bought Havertz for 65. If they have bought all these players, Gyökeres for 60. I mean, Eze is somebody who drives the ball. Is somebody who has the quality of Kudus, but I think it's just technically better. Some people might disagree, but if you look at the games, and Eze is playing in Crystal Palace. Now, Eze was very instrumental in Crystal Palace winning their first cup for some time, and will just be it would be the first choice for Arsenal. Now, what would that mean to Arsenal? If they sign him, they'll have Eze on their left wing, they'll have Gyökeres on striking, Saka on the right wing. They might have Odegaard or Havertz and Odegaard, and then Declan Rice. It will be again a very, I think this season that we are going into will be one for the books. Last season was lackluster for so many teams. Man City was down, Chelsea tried, but it was again poor. Arsenal was poor for the second leg of the league. And all these other teams were really, really struggling. I don't think that will be the case next Premier League, because a lot of top teams have bolstered their squad. I think there are very, very few teams in top 6 that still have, a weakness on any position. Like Man City have bought everybody to cover for every weakness they had. If it's left wing, they have bought him. If it's not left back, no, they have bought, they have bought their left back. Now with right back, there's also rumors of Tino Livramento wanting to go to Man City. Man City have also bought Trafford. Another now, Ederson can be freed. It's a total over. It's not an overhaul, but it's a improvement of the squad on very many areas where they had problem. Now again, if they bought Livramento, what that makes Newcastle will have lost are they important, but was Tino in their first team? I think he was playing, but he was not in their first team. But he's one of the key members. So if Man City buys him, or even right now, they don't have a rightful right back. All they're playing, they are midfielders from either Nunes or all these other guys from the academy. But if they sign Tino, then he'll be there. Now you'll have Man City has a full squad. Chelsea will be having a full squad. Arsenal will be having a full squad. Liverpool will be having a full squad. Now that will be a title chase that you want to see. I don't want to see a title chase where it's 30 games in and we have top 2 teams. Then it's 33 games and we already know we are counting until days or matches until the winner is crowned. That's not a league that you want to see. It's not exciting. It's not nerve-wracking. We need a league where the differences are just 1 point. Like when Liverpool and Man City were fighting, or when Man City and Man United were fighting for the last game. Like I need a league such that like that like if you win the league, you really celebrate, because it's nerve wracking. Like it's something that you really enjoy. Like the previous league, even people did not talk after it. It was just like, okay, it's finished now. Let's talk about something. Let's start talking about PSG. Let's start talking about Club World Cup. Let's start talking about all this FA and Conference League and everything. Because if you win quicker, it becomes inconsequential. It it doesn't have that, some kind of ring to it. And I think that is not going to happen this season, because if even a single team does not perform the way you want, there will still be other three teams like looking for the league. Again, this signing, if Arsenal signs Eze, now, I've been very interested in how Madueke's story evolves. I think he ran from Chelsea because he thought he'll not be getting minutes, because he was not chased. It wasn't like everybody was talking about, we don't want Madueke. No. Like the coach had even said that if Madueke wants to stay, he should stay. Now, if you are running because you think that the club has bought a lot of people, there's Estevao, there's Neto, and you're not getting a lot of minutes, then if you're going to another club, you should be able to go to a club which, even if you're not getting a lot of minutes, you're able to win the cup. That's one. But the second one is, if you're running from lack of minutes, you should be able to get minutes in your new team. Now, if you're going into a new team, and you are running from lack of minutes, and this new team is still buying players, buying even better wingers, now you can't sub Saka, and where you thought you will probably get a chance, they have Martinelli, and they're still adding in Eze, which means even at that left wing, you still be like the third option. If you're third option in left wing, and in right wing, you are second option to a person who doesn't get injured easily, to a person who doesn't get subbed, to a person who is always playing all Premier League games and all Champions League games, then you're bound to only play in League Cups. And if by any chance Arsenal is, loses, now your lack of minutes will continue into your new team. And Saka is still young. Saka is very young. So I don't think he made the right decision. As much as people in Chelsea did not want him, going to Arsenal was not the right decision for him. Now, those are the transfers that happened since yesterday. The transfers, or the new rumors, or the rumors that are persisting. Again, Xavi Simons is still on course. Jorelato is still on course, which I think now Chelsea either needs to, but they're not reporting into pre-season until I think the mid of next week, probably the week that we are starting. So that's why I think they're not into a certain kind of rush to sign these players. But I think Xavi will always will be here, and Jorelato will be here. So those are two signings that they will make. And then everything else has gone silent for Man City. I think they are finally happy with the squad. So there are no new rumors, which means they might not be signing anybody else. Unless if they sign Tino Livramento. With Man United again, Amorim has lowered his stance on people like Garnacho and Sancho. Those two were supposed to be out of Man United by now, but I don't think any team is willing to sign them. Chelsea is not willing to sign Garnacho. If they were willing, they will already have tabled a bid by now, or they will have, completed or concluded the Xavi Simon signing, or either disagreed and then start, bidding for Garnacho. But they haven't, which means they're not, they're probably skeptical about him. And if no team wants him in Premier League and Garnacho doesn't want to go or doesn't want to be sold away from Premier League, then will probably be, absorbed. Both Garnacho and Sancho will probably be absorbed back or accepted back into the team by Amorim. And I don't know where they're going to play, because now they will not play as strikers. Now, those two guys who are supporting strikers in their formation will always be Kuna and Mbeumo. Kuna sometimes usually gets injured. Mbeumo does not get injured. It's unlike him. Like, even if he gets injured, it's just for 2 weeks. So it's not going to. And this time they only have Premier League. Now, they can't play in the midfield. Now, they'll probably need to play in right wing back or left wing back. And I think they're not going to be first choice there. They're not going to be second choices in those positions. So, their goose is cooked. Like, especially Sancho. Now, Garnacho usually runs. I don't know if he defends. He might get some minutes. But with Sancho, he has to lower his prices. He's not that old. He could lower his salary, go into a team, perform, then ask for, additional. But he doesn't want. His only next destination is where Joao Felix is going, which is Saudi Arabia. Anyway, that's for me today. Subscribe and like if you like our streams and probably analysis.